Today on the channel, we show no mercy with Super 7 Ultimate Slayer Minotaur.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Super 7 Ultimate Heavy Metal unboxing and review. And in today's video, we reclaim our thrash metal roots. We take it back to 1983 with Show No Mercy Slayer Minotaur. But for all your Slayer Minotaur needs and a whole lot more, make sure you hit up Entertainment Earth. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10% on in-stock items. Anything over $79 does ship free. Got to get a deal out there. You can also go to the Super 7 website. Put in code KyleP at checkout to support this very YouTube channel. But of course, this one I grabbed off Entertainment Earth. It is hot off the truck right now as I'm filming this. So if you're looking for this, Entertainment Earth does have this in stock. And you guys know me. I wear my love of heavy metal on my shoulders. I talk about it all the time. I'm listening to it all the time. So this, you're barking up the right tree. I'm all in on a Slayer Ultimate figure. Give me the band. Give me all kinds of heavy metal band members and bands, mascots, you name it. Give them to me, Super 7. I'm here for all of them. And recently we unboxed Cliff Burton, of course, from Metallica. My boy Lemmy from Motorhead. And now we're moving on to this one here. It'll be interesting to see how well this one does. Kind of feels like it's flown under the radar, and I think a lot of that is it took about 2 years. I wish it was 2 hours. 2 years to get down here where we can review this one. A lot of delays with this figure over time. Will it be worth the wait? Well, we're going to find out. There's only one way to find out for sure is we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And Show No Mercy was the first Slayer album way back in 1983. Unbelievable. Definitely hardcore, brutal heavy metal. Some would say it still holds up as that, but it was a lot more extreme way back in 83 than it is right now. I think that's a fair assessment. Taking a lot of calling cards from the new wave of British heavy metal, my favorite form of heavy metal, I guess. And also Venom. Of course, if you don't know Venom, man, look up Cronus and the Boys. A lot of good stuff from Venom in the early 80s. Slayer definitely inspired by Venom among other bands here. And Show No Mercy really kind of flies under the radar in the Slayer catalog. Of course, Raining Blood, their crowning achievement, one of the greatest heavy metal albums of all time. Came a few years after this one here, but a lot of people do love the more simple times, the more aggressive times of the Show No Mercy. Myself and my Slayer fandom, I don't think I got into Slayer until maybe my senior year of high school, and it's crazy to think all these years later, this was such extreme heavy metal, where nowadays, yeah, it's extreme, but there's a lot more extreme heavy metal than this. Slayer, of course. But I got into about 99. There was a heavy metal festival called Tattoo the Earth. Oh, shout out Tattoo the Earth. And I was working at a grocery store at the time as a kid, and I got to deliver ice to there, and I got to see Slayer for the first time and all that kind of stuff. So I was a fan ever since then. Of course, seeing them on many Ozfest, many tours. That beautiful Raining Blood, was it 30th anniversary? I can't remember what year anniversary tour it was, where the blood dropped from the ceiling. Saw Slayer many times over the years, and guess what? Very timely unboxing right here. Might get to see Slayer again in the near future, as they have announced they are reuniting. I didn't think this one would happen. I guess I thought it would happen. I just didn't think it would be this soon. It was like, what, 4 or 5 years ago Slayer called it a career. Now they're back, of course. Carrie and Tom, the only two original members. But my boy Gary Holt from Exodus holding it down. It sounds like Paul Bostaph will be on drums. Obviously, Jeff Hanneman has passed on from the original Slayer band. And Dave Lombardo, not really getting along with Carrie and Tom these days. But it is cool to see Slayer coming back. We'll see what kind of tours and kind of shows they're going to do. Maybe just a couple of shows, maybe a tour. We'll see what ends up happening there. So that's a little brief Slayer talk. Now let's get into the figure. How about that's probably why you're here. But as usual with Super 7, absolutely love the packaging on here. Got the old Slayer like pentagram going on. You got the black and red, the blood looking extra metal over here. Got kind of holes throughout, and we'll talk about that in a second. Got that on the sides. Ultimate on the top, some blood splatter. Got a little bit of this and that, a little jibber jabber on the bottom with the UPC. And you got Slayer on the back right there, looking very cool. But of course, slipcase cover, no outer shell, none of that kind of stuff with this. But very cool here, you get the stencil for Slayer. So you can put a piece of paper in here, you can stencil over it, do whatever you want. You want to carve this into your back. That was that the War at the Warfield DVD back in the day? Oh man, the Rolodex going back. I had that on DVD way back in the day, and I think there was a guy that carved like Slayer into his skin. That's a hardcore fan, that's dedication. But I do love all the holes throughout the box. Very, very cool. I am going to save this packaging. Absolutely do like this one. So a gentle off to the side. See you later. And then we get the old packaging here, and look at that, we got the pentagram going once again, and a very devilish Minotaur, and all Minotaurs, a dangerous creature, a dangerous animal. You never fight a Minotaur, and you never ride a Centaur. You guys know that if you watch this channel at any length. You just don't do those two things. And this Minotaur, man, he came to fight. Dare he could be the devil. He could be the Howling Man himself. Who knows? And it seemed like in the 70s, like that movie Devil's Reign, good friend of the channel, William Shatner, there was a lot of devils that looked like this. So it was kind of on brand for 1983. And this is kind of the Slayer mascot. And a lot of people, I think, as I talked about, a lot of people don't remember Show No Mercy as fondly as the Raining Bloods and some of the other albums from Slayer over the years. God Hates Us All, you name it. The Minotaur is kind of forgotten as a Slayer mascot, Slayer logo. At least it is in my heavy metal brain. Maybe yours is a little bit different. Minotaur down there. I'll have to do fun on the sides, and no blurbage, no nothing going on in the back, no history of the album, no history of Slayer. That would have been cool. I don't know the reason why there wasn't anything. I guess I could give a shout out to Super 7, and they could probably let me know if I wanted to send them a message. But very cool packaging design. Once again, I'm keeping on to that packaging. Then it's plastic prison time. Look at all those hands. There are those hands for days. You got an extra head. You got the body, of course. You got the big old sword. A lot going on here. I'm going to take it offline, get him out of the package, and we'll be back talking all things heavy metal Minotaurs. All right, we got the Minotaur out of the package. Let's dive in. Let's start with the accessories per the norm here on this channel. And we do get a beautiful silica packet here. Oh, you never know. Sprinkle this on a little bit of food. You're off to the races. I guess maybe not. You probably shouldn't be eating these kind of things. As it says, do not eat all over it. So see you later. Goodbye right there. But then we do get some hands, and this Minotaur, he came full of hands. He's got 2 gripping hands out of the package, and what do you know? He's throwing up them devil horns, and on brand for this Minotaur. But he do got the horns, of course. He's throwing it up like a young Ronnie James Dio, looking really good. And man, some sharp, sharp nails going on here. He's got some long nails going on. He's going to tear. He's going to claw you. He might even be doing some cocaine off there. Who knows what he's up to? These Minotaurs are wild. You never know what they're up to. But we got all kinds of stuff going on with that. Of course, a Minotaur, he's got to have fists. Minotaurs love throwing fists. They love swinging a sword, but they love to give you a little 1, 2, 3, a little jab combo. They like to do that kind of stuff. So we got Fist of Fury. Now we got these hands here, which are very interesting. It's the 2 finger pointing hands. You got each hand here. You got one with a tight grip with a thumb in, one with thumb out. How do you like to direct your traffic? Like this? Like this? It's like, hey, I'm the leader. You go here. You do this. We got some of that going on. Maybe also throwing out the peace. Maybe the surrender sign. Maybe the old eye poke. Who knows what he could be up to there. We do get those 2 hands. And then the final ones, 2 more gripping hands with the up and down hinge going on. Choose your own hinge adventure. Tons and tons of hands here. Actually, too many hands for a Minotaur, if you ask me. But they're there if you do need them. And then we get to his prime time accessory. It is the Sword of Doom, and it is inscripted here with Die by the Sword. Of course, a very famous Slayer song for those keeping track at home. Love the kind of like eagle's foot with the talons going on down there, and then a little jewel at the top. Very heavy metal, very sword and sorcery here. Silver blade with a point on the end, a little black in there to give it a little dash of color, but you got Die by the Sword on both sides. Choose your own sword adventure. Minotaurs, when they're not throwing fists, they're swinging swords. That's what they're doing. But now we're going to dive into this Minotaur and his head. Right out of the pack, we got the more stoic head. And do Minotaurs have a stoic head? I know Centaurs don't, because they're always angry. The angriest things ever are a Centaur. Minotaurs go up and down, but I think this is an angry Minotaur at the end of the day, especially with that pentagram engraved into his forehead. Never a good day at the office there. Big red evil eyes, got the black and silver in there as well. Nice brown coloring here, like a goat really is what he kind of looks like to me. You got the tusk coming out, the teeth showing. He's got the beard like a young Jim the Anvil Neidhart, looking good. Got those big ears poking out the side, and of course those 2 big old horns at the top, really giving a little extra evil to it. I see those goats at the zoo, and I know they're up to evil things. He's not too far off from that as well. Got a little flame going on here, a little fire flame, not removable, anything like that. It does look interesting. Definitely an evil looking head really at the end of the day, but it gets eviler. Yes, it does. We compound the evil and we get the evil Minotaur head with the mouth being open just a little bit more. No hinge on the mouth. That would have been a game changer, not part of the plan here. A lot of similarities about it, but he's got more of an excited, mad, angry expression, and this is going to be the one to use. You want to use the Minotaur head with all the personality. This one's good. This one is another level. This is going to be the way to go with these heads here. So you get a choose your own head adventure. I'm going with the angry one. I have to imagine the majority of people will go angry head. You guys set it off in the comments down below. But of course, like a young Lando Calrissian, we got the cape here. Soft, good cape season year-round thanks to our boy Lando. And the Minotaur rocking the cape as well in a nice maroon color. We do got wire in the cape, always a game changer. If you go cape, put a wire in it, and we do get that from Super 7, kind of torn and tattered at the bottom, as you would imagine a devilish Minotaur to have. But do you imagine a Minotaur with a perfectly steamed and pressed cape? No, you imagine him with a cape that's seen some things. That's what you imagine him with. Got a little star and a little circle at the top, connecting the little chain around his neck. Obviously, you pop the head off. You can remove the cape if you want to. Cape season on, cape season off. You can do it, choose your own cape season adventure. Of course, we do got some silver. We got the forearm gauntlets here, a very heavy metal-like around there. And then you got the matching belt with the Slayer belt buckle. Oh, I haven't seen a belt buckle this nice. Then old friend of the channel, Porter Wagner. Porter Wagner, old guy back in the day. I remember I was about 3 years old, and I'd come up to Porter, and I'd pull on his nudie suit, and I'd say, Porter, play me a song. And he would say, kid, get $1 and then come back and I'll play you a song. And he never would. Yeah, Porter Wagner, good guy, just not a great guy. That's what we're going to say. Ask my girl Dolly about him. Ask Dolly about him. She'll always love him, though. She will always love him. Like I will love the Slayer Minotaur forever. Looking good right here. He does got the black tights going on, the black boots as well. Got those hairy legs. Might need to get a little bit of nair down here. It's a wild look when your legs are this hairy and your top clean shaven. It looks like he's going swimming up on the top. Down here, he's ready for winter. I don't know what's going on with him, but that's Minotaurs for you. They always keep you guessing. We know that about Minotaurs. Got those steel around the boots here. I think we talked about that. And then I do like his boots down here with the 2 toes in there. Very on brand for a Minotaur. One thing I do notice right here, the right foot for mine, your mileage may vary. I got a very loose right foot here. Very, very loose. A little bit tighter on the left side, but both fairly loose in the foot department. That could be trouble later. We'll see what happens there. Peg holes down here as well, so we'll do the stand test here shortly. Of course, articulation on this guy. Arms do go all the way around for us. Bicep cut on him. How about that? We do get single jointed elbows, side to side. Hands back, forth, side to side. Of course, hands going to be removable. Got the old ab crunch going on there. We got a little bit of waist articulation as well. Big old Minotaur splits, known for their time on the pommel horse. That's what Minotaurs were originally bred for, the pommel horse, as we do know. It's a fact out there. Somebody fact check that. Leg does go up. You do get a little bit of movement. You got kind of rubber underwear on this guy, so a little different material there. Single jointed knees, side to side at the knee, of course. Ankles very loose back and forth. And I did talk about the chest. He is ripped. He has been working out, this Minotaur, so good for him as I knocked a hand right off there. Be careful there. You might want to heat it up. You never know with these figures from time to time, but hand easily removable, of course. But the Minotaur looking scary, looking very heavy metal, looking ready to take on the world or destroy the world, really, at the end of the day. Does he fit on a ringside collectible Mattel stand? Man, he fits like a glove. He is ready to go. He's ready to represent Slayer. He's ready to listen to heavy metal. He's ready to take on the world like a young man of war. That's what he's ready for. And of course, got his old friend Kyle right here to hang out. We're going to hold hands. This Minotaur and me, we're going to hold hands, and we're going to walk off to the sunset like everything was meant to be. There it is right there. But a good one here. I like this. Of course, I like Slayer. I like heavy metal, so this is barking up the right tree for me. Obviously, this is not going to be for everybody. If you don't like Slayer, you don't like devilish things, you don't like Minotaurs, I can't believe people don't like Minotaurs, but there's people that don't like them. But if you don't like Minotaurs, you don't like this, not going to be for you. However, I can see people possibly buying this knowing nothing of Slayer that are just all in on Minotaur. And just like there's people that don't like them, there's people that are all in Minotaurs. I think there's Minotaur collectors that specifically just collect Minotaurs. Very few Centaur collectors, but Minotaur collectors really on the rise, especially after COVID. Don't know what happened there, but that seems to be the case. So I can see Minotaur collectors jumping on this one. Maybe you put him with some Mythic Legions. Maybe you put him with Thundercats, He-Man. Who knows? He can fit in a lot of holes and plug a lot of holes in your collection, I do think, with this Slayer Minotaur. But a very, very fun figure, just one that's not going to be for everybody. But I like Super 7. They take chances. They go deep in things like this. Would love to see how deep they can go with the Slayer brand. Could we get, you know, some, what is that, not Live After Death, that's Iron Maiden. Live Dead, or what is that early one? It'll come to me, I can picture it, where they got all the Slayer members like as corpses. That would be cool in Ultimate form. I'd love to see that. That'd be another early one. And of course, I'd love to see the core Slayer members as Ultimate figures. Not sure there's enough meat on the bone there for that, though. We'll see, though, what comes in the future with the heavy metal line from Super 7. We know there's another Cliff Burton on the way, and we gotta fully expect multiple Lemmys. Why wouldn't you? I've heard it was the greatest selling Super 7 figure of all time. I might have just made that up, but I'm gonna believe that in my head. All shout out to Lemmy, hopefully future Lemmy figures, and hopefully future other heavy metal figures in the future here. But for the Slayer Minotaur, hey, I'm here for it. But what about you? Are you here for it? Is it a long game? Is it a pass? Is it a no game? Is it a I'm not so sure game? Or are you a straight up Minotaur collector and this is a day one purchase for you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bells. We got videos every single day and then some. We got even more content for you, if you can believe that, over on Patreon, including early access to both YouTube channel videos. You name it, it's all over there on the old Patreon. Patreon, best way to support this very YouTube channel. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. Don't forget social media. SirPaul64 on the X. The _Kyle_Peterson on Threads. And on Instagram. So for the Minotaur, Show No Mercy Slayer, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.